Welcome to Present Poetry, a podcast where we sit back, relax, and enjoy some poets of the past and present. I'm your host, Erin Crittenden, and before we get started on this week's episode, I want to remind you that all of the material used in this podcast is either public domain or used with permission from the author or the author's estate. It's a fun time for all ages, so sit back, relax, and get ready to hear this week's featured poet. This week's featured poet is Sipher. Sipher is a writer, poet, and remote piano teacher at Blossom Piano Studio. She is on a mission to empower women on their journeys of self-discovery and transformation by offering poetry and prose that give voice to their struggles, celebrates their strengths, and ignites their belief in their worth. Outside writing and teaching, she enjoys nature, practicing yoga, and spending time with her 6 children. We are reading a few poems that she submitted to the podcast through the form at presentpoetry.com. This poem is called Awake. To remain asleep, oh the bliss, painful, yes, yet dulled by faith's mysteries and denials. To be awake bears a different pain, hurts unfolding, sharply felt and known. Deep wounds reopening to the bone, absent of anesthesia, produce shaking to the core. Eyes now open to the offenses, to unmet desires, to unfulfilled longings. Everything once known now lies in question. All ways of being and thinking now untrusted. Where do I turn? How do I heal? How do I move forward? Will I ever be whole? Struggle to breathe, to be, to belong. This poem is called Pause, Breathe, Release. Stay with me. Don't go off somewhere else. As a traveler in this land, stay grounded in the present. Pause, breathe, release. The past is over. The future awaits. Tie yourself to the now. Nobody needs you more than you. Pause, breathe, release. Fears, regrets, sorrows, they have no power now. Pause, breathe, release. Stay with me, don't lose hope, though emotions unravel like the ends of a rope. Pause, breathe, release. You've got this now, this present moment, safe and free. Pause, breathe, release. That yearning and longing to be seen and loved can be met by yourself. Stay with me. Pause, breathe, release. A marriage that will not end, me with me. Pause, breathe, release. You're beginning to see. The truth is in you. Listen to your body. Don't go off somewhere else. Pause, breathe, release. This poem is called Burn to Release. Discarding old ways, inviting the new, releasing layers of conditioning, expanding my perception, and laying aside stories of victimization, I embrace my inner heroine. I am not who I was, yet still I am, not becoming or unbecoming, but re-becoming, a return to who I was before the rules, expectations, and silencing. Events repeat themselves, but this woman is new and better able to withstand. Instead of questioning, blaming, or despairing, I respond with knowing. This time, while still in the fire, I stand firm, I stand tall. The fire is always hungry for more fuel, more way clearing, more truth revealing. New growth comes from within. As the flames consume the outer layers, my heartwood remains. This poem is called Dear Darkness. I used to fear you, being taught you held all forms of unholiness. I lived to avoid trespassing inside your borders, creating a no man's land to prevent from being corrupted by you. Lamps lit my path so I wouldn't fall. When you knocked on my door, I didn't answer. I unjustly avoided you as long as I could, mislabeling you and misjudging your purpose. When I finally opened my heart to you, I found friend instead of foe. Alone in the silence, together we saw, mourned, and rebuilt. I've learned to welcome your appearance, to embrace you as a refuge for extinguished light, to turn toward you and receive your wisdom. You taught me to love, to accept, to release, to be. For you and light are one, both hoping to be loved, freed, and given space to breathe. This poem is called I Will Be. As I continue to become in this never-ending adventure, I set my eyes on a new future, one with marvelous experiences to behold. Joy will never be far, even in sorrow. The memory of laughter will balance the grief. Peace will reign. No one and nothing will shake me from my present breath. Love will permeate all. Fear will only serve as a guide, revealing my insecurities and whispering echoes of my past. Confidence will exude from every pore as I live unabashedly, unapologetically, and in the fullness of my humanity. I will be. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Present Poetry Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to like us, leave a review, or share us on social media. If you are a poet or you know someone who is, we would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us or submit your work through our website, which is www.present-poetry.com. Again, that is www.present-poetry.com. We can't wait to hear from you.